Good morning, boys. Another day, another full day of eating. So last week's grow bag entry was a rest day, full day of eating. So this week we are hitting you up with a training day, full day of eating, because it's far more exciting. Meals are definitely very enjoyable on a training day. You know, we get to skip out on the protein fat meal one on a rest day that we're doing to sort of help insulin sensitivity, but now we get right into the carbs on a training day, just because, you know, I'm on like 600 carb training days, and my rationale between carbs in every meal is I would rather spread them out more evenly, so digestive stress is less. So, less chance of running into digestive stress if you have to make certain meals far bigger because you want to keep one carbless. But on a rest day, you can do that because your overall carbs should be lower than your training days. So, without further ado, I have took my health sups, went for a morning walk, again, keep that fasted blood glucose low, took a measurement this morning, sitting at 4.2, 103 days post-diet. To have blood glucose in that sort of spot is very good, and it is reflective in the physique. You know, I'm still looking in pretty decent condition, still feeling like I'm utilising food very well. But yes, without further ado, we have meal number one. Ignore the back here. This is 150 grams of TWP whey for Mr. Butcher's Wet Dream, and 40 grams of whey for my post-workout. That is also chocolate coconut TWP. But meal number one, we have 200 grams of sourdough bread. Now, I did actually, I'll take you away from the meal here, I did actually get my hands on some Jason sourdough, and what I will say, it's elite because it's pre-cut, but I would not be taking it over my fresh sourdough, homemade sourdough that I get from the bakery like 5 minutes away from me. So that's my Jason's take. But 200 grams of sourdough, one whole egg on a training day, 50 grams of smoked salmon, 100 grams of banana, and if I get my mug from over here, we have 100 grams of pineapple and 100 grams of cherry tomatoes below that. Also do have 50 grams of spinach on each of the, 25 grams of spinach on each of the savoury slices, 50 grams in total there. And what I will say with this meal is, boys, look at all the colours I have on this. There's paprika, black pepper, oregano, cinnamon all over this meal, and of course my salt, my pink and low salt. But this paprika, your seasonings, like, they have efficacy for better digestion and blood glucose management, so don't be skimping out on them. If you go to ChatGPT, look up what benefits does paprika have, what benefits do black pepper have, you know they have enzymes that are good for digestion, so, you know, getting them in, I don't understand, especially it's always with the rice meals where people aren't even doing veg or fruit, and it's literally just rice and chicken. Maybe they'll have a bit of seasoning on the chicken, but get different colours, textures, stuff in your food. It's not only from a micronutrient perspective, but just an enjoyment perspective, and just ticking all boxes in your meal plan. You know, I know for me, it's very rare in a client's meal plan I'm giving them a meal without fruit. You know, even if their meal one on a rest day is like 3 eggs, I'm still giving them 100 grams of berries, maybe 4 eggs, to get that good. If we're just going a whole food source and no whey on the side, I'd still be sticking fruit in that meal just to help with the digestion of things. And, you know, fibre, I'm one for running fibre way higher than a lot of people. I've pulled mine down significantly in the past little while, but like, people go such minimal fibre and they wonder why their bowel movements are shit and they're constantly bloated. Like, nothing is moving in your stomach. But I was talking a little bit there about carbs in the first meal and, you know, keeping them down. I am a firm believer in upping your carbs as the day goes on. That's obviously disregarding the workout window. I would have your biggest meal pre-workout, second biggest post-workout. But say you're training meal 4, post-workout meal 5, you're an evening trainer, maybe a 9 to 5 job kind of guy, I would be doing your carbs titrating up in meals. So meal 4, probably highest carb meal. Meal 5, post-workout, not your second highest carb meal. And I think it's just, as you go on in the day, you can expose yourself to more carbs. If you're nailing like this 200 grams of sourdough, for example, first thing in the morning, I don't think that's amazing for blood glucose control. But the reason I'm doing that is because I've took a GDA with this meal. I've went for a morning walk. You know, I'm still pretty lean and I'm training after 2 meals today, so I do want the food to go in, so I get a nice little gnarly pump on full body. Thursday full body going down, and good training performance alongside that pump. So I am going to go, and I'll give you one last look at the meal. I am going to sit down with this, watch the new episode of Bro Chat, which Butcher has sent me a text saying it is absolutely hilarious. So looking forward to that. And yeah, guys, I will see you at meal number 2. Yes, boys, we are back for meal number 2, and this is going to be the pre-workout meal today. So in between meals 1 and 2, I've caffeinated a little bit. I had a cheeky white monster, which I could have gotten filmed, but you know, everyone knows what a white monster looks and tastes like. But we'll probably have a little black coffee on the way to the gym, just out of enjoyment, you know, fun. What I did want to mention is Japan is tomorrow, so this is the last day sort of the monotony before a little like 2-week break. It's going to be very different from my usual day today, but very much looking forward to it. So in between meals 1 and 2, I've been doing a lot of packing and just making sure everything is sorted for going tomorrow. Flights checked in, luggage is packed now mostly. I need to stop at the supplement shop and get a tub of Digest Max. That actually might be a little bit of cool content to record me at the supplement store. But yes, I do want my bowel movements to stay consistent while I'm over there. Even though Japanese food does digest magnificently for myself, I think getting more fibre in should be the goal. So that psyllium husk based Digest Max will do bits. So without further ado, we have the pre-workout meal. Now, going in with this meal is 1 cap of Turbo Digest and 1 cap of Glycotank. Now, I'm utilising a GDA with my pre-workout and final meal normally on a training day, even though today it has been the first meal and the pre-workout meal, just with the layout of the day. And then Turbo Digest, not in a huge need to have this digestive enzyme with this meal, but you know, the way I look at these things, it's never going to be a negative to have a cap before a meal. So it's only been 2 hours 20 minutes since my first meal, which was quite a big meal, so I don't want any food left over in my system really when I go into train. I would like to get this meal digested as much as possible for heading into the gym. So, you know, I might as well just go for that. So, actually, explaining the meal, by the way, GDA covered in the last full day of eating. But this is just to make sure carbs are being uptook into the muscle and not just hovering about in my bloodstream, raising that blood glucose. So, here, pre-workout meal, we have 100 grams raw weight sushi rice. I have made the switch and it is very, very good. You can definitely use a little more water when you're cooking it than normal jasmine rice. 170 gram raw weight chicken breast, 15 grams of nut butter, 10 grams of honey, 100 grams of veg through shredded carrot and shredded beetroot, 25 grams of sauerkraut and 45 grams of dates and 100 grams of banana. Now, it doesn't look the part, but I can assure you, like most of my meals, I could honestly make an argument. If I take off active track on the bowl, there we go. Like most of my meals, I could very much make a case for this being my favourite. It's tracking the bowl. This is hella weird. Yeah, pretty much all my meals, especially on a training day, I could make the case for being, getting a thumbnail here guys if you couldn't tell, I could make the case for them all being my favourite meal. They're all magnificent. Next up, throughout the rest of the day, I have a cream of rice post-workout, prawns, rice, mac oil, meal 4, and then meal 5 is a nice bowl of oats pre-bed. So gonna get this in. All that's left to do after I eat this is a little 10-minute walk, same as after meal 1, same as after every meal. Keep sensitive, help digestion, always walk after your meals, boys. So little walk after I eat this, pin my L-carn, go to the gym, get a killer full body session in. Might show you guys the intra before I leave for the gym, just so I don't have to bring the Osmo along. I'll have to bring it for the post-workout anyway, because I do eat my post-workout meal outside the gym now, so I'll have a think about that. But you've seen the pre-meal, absolutely stupendous stuff. So gonna get this in, and not sure what I will watch with the pre-meal. I've half an hour left of an Ozark episode right now, but I like watching a podcast with my meals. I think TV shows with meals or movies with meals has to be your final meal. Like it feels illegal if it's not. And even still, I'd still rather, if I'm in the midst of a movie and then my final meal comes around, I'd rather actually turn the movie off, stick on YouTube, and then go back to the movie afterwards when I'm chilling, because I feel like when you're eating a meal, constantly looking down and you're missing key points of the movie. So that's just something I've picked up on me being a little movie nerd. But yes, once again, going to get this into me, and I will see you guys either at intra or at post-workout. Yes, boys, so in the midst or in the early stages of full body, currently just 3 sets of seated ham down, and I'm currently warming up for the prime hack, but it is 2 hours since my pre-workout meal. So why am I sideways? I am not too sure, but 2 hours post pre-workout meal means time for the intro to go in. So I'll pop photos on the screen on what I'm currently running. Mutant Gear is tropical punch flavour, and Carbax fruit twist flavour, and now I have fruit twist and unflavoured. Getting rid of the fruit twist, the artificial sweetenered one. Wild food is still pretty easily managed, and I don't need the digestive break as much. My stomach can still handle the sweeteners mid-session. So 25 grams intra, 14 grams, just a serving of EAs. Very, very tasty. But also, since by the way, that is going in immediately 2 hours, even since I'm 1 exercise into the session, because my post-workout is immediately after the session, so I want that 2 hours to have passed between my intra and post-workout meal. But another thing I'm going to be trialling, or have been trialling recently, is my turbo pump and my hydration formula during legs for full body. I noted maybe on the story or in a past YouTube that I'm not getting much of a pump or feeling much effect from the turbo pump in my full body sessions. And if you think, if I'm having this 20 minutes before I get to the gym and then I'm training legs for an hour, there's an hour and 20 has already passed since my pump formula has went in, so no wonder I'm not getting much of an effect. So about 30 minutes or halfway through legs, I start drinking this, and I should have it finished by the time I start upper. And then the pump product, the pump formula, is fresh in the blood. So I'm hoping that is going to prove some more results, because I do sort of want to post the visuals after this session, just as like or just to touch bases on where I am looking, or how I'm looking pre-Japan. So pump product and intro workout going in, just 25 carb. That's all I really need at the minute, and I see very good performance from that. So we'll get back to the session and see you guys for the post-workout meal. So boys, just finished up the workout. Well, finished it up like 20-30 minutes ago, but posing room was taken, so I had to wait for posing. Butcher also did arrive, so I will be eating my post-workout with him. It lines up while I assemble my whey paste. If I figure out what I'm doing, get the car keys out of here. I figured I would just talk you through a little bit. I'm actually, since I prep my post-workout and it's a whey meal, I don't actually make the whey paste with the meal when I prep it. I actually just put the whey in a separate tub. So as I said earlier, we have TWP chocolate coconut patty, I think the way it's called. It is extremely good. The coconut flavour you get off this is incredible. But yeah, I don't, a little bit of whey spilt in my joggers there. I don't actually prep the whey paste. I make it fresh when I'm about to have the meal. And that's because, if I'm going to be real here, guys, I end up eating half the fucking whey paste when I'm prepping the meal. So it's like I convince myself that I'm not even getting a protein spike out of it, because I eat that much whey paste. Because, you know, you're mixing and then you're cleaning the spoon and then you empty it out of the mug onto the meal, and there's some residue around the mug, and you eat that instead of putting it in the meal. This is just the issues that I face. So started tubbing up the whey and just make it when I'm about to have the meal. But very, very good full body. I was about to say leg session. Leg work actually entails the seated ham, prime seated ham, 3 sets there, 2 sets on the prime hack, 2 sets on the Arsenal linear. Some very good sets taken, and even upper work was extremely good. Now that the whey paste is ready, I will also mention I take 2 caps of magnesium. Now post workout, I have upped my magnesium frequency to 2 times per day. Wow, riveting stuff. But here is the post workout meal. This is actually a really good angle. So we have the 40 grams of whey I'm about to drip on for you. A bit of food porn for you guys. Is Butcher coming out? Not yet. He's in the posing room. 100 grams cream of rice, Gold Bar TWP, solid flavour, just kind of vanilla-ish. I think there's 2 or 3 grams of pink salt on this meal with cinnamon, nutmeg, but the fruits we have dates, 30 grams of dates, 100 grams of berries, 100 grams of banana, and 15 dark chocolate underneath. Oh, we lost a blueberry, but I will go ahead and pour this whey paste over the top. 2 big medjool dates I was able to get with my 30 grams of dates, so they're going to be absolutely lovely. But yeah, there's not too much to break down with this meal. You know, I used to be a believer of not doing cinnamon and nutmeg pre or post workout, or anywhere near their workout window, because they are anti-inflammatory foods, and you know, we don't want to blunt that hypertrophy response, because that is based on inflammation. Your training, you can see how much whey paste actually skips or doesn't even make it to the bowl. Yeah, this is a good way. But yeah, I used to be a big believer in that, but I've changed my mind. I think the amount of cinnamon and these anti-inflammatory foods that you'd be sprinkling over a meal, I don't think they have enough effect to blunt the hypertrophy response. And you know, look at anecdotal evidence. Look at the people. Most people that lift are nailing cinnamon on nearly every meal, and everyone still builds muscle. So I sacked that idea off. But it's good to be aware of these things now. I still uphold that thought process with your anti-inflammatory supplements like curcumin, very powerful anti-inflammatory, so would not be having that anywhere near the workout window. Little blueberry. There is the meal with the whey paste added, and I'm very excited for this. Timer, they're sitting at 2 hours 36 minutes after my intra-workout, so hopefully Butcher rocks the fuck up so I can eat this. We do switch over to his car. That's just tradition. We don't eat it in the Golf, we eat it in the Clio. So yeah, guys, we'll see you at meal number 4. And just like that, meal 4 is upon us. So we have another rice and meat based dish. Do you call prawns meat? I don't really know, but I'm gonna keep this one brief as I do need to get this meal in. It is currently 20 to 6, 5:40 p.m. and I have 2 more meals to get in, this one and my oats final meal. So I was talking to Butcher at the gym, and I genuinely don't know what my favourite meal is on my meal plan, because this meal, I should run you through the ingredients actually, if I can get the Osmo to track. So we have 100 grams raw weight sushi rice, 100 grams of cherry tomatoes, 25 grams of sauerkraut, 100 grams of pineapple, 200 grams cooked weight prawns, 8 grams of macadamia nut oil, and 3 grams of salt. Again, I believe I put a extra salt on this meal just because we're still tracking the sushi rice. But yeah, got bro chat up ahead. As I said, just can't not watch bro chat. If I actually do flip round, we do have an episode of Peaking It Real there, which is a good watch as well. But you know, I just need to stick to my guns with bro chat. You know, Peaking It Real is a good car or some podcast or something. Bro chat is nice to sit down and watch. So yeah, don't know what meal is my favourite on my meal plan, because the macadamia nut oil is the key. It is so tasty. It makes your rice so sticky and just gooey. Oh, it's delicious. I love the peanut butter in the chicken rice banana dates meal, what I had pre-workout, but the macadamia nut oil in the sushi rice is generally makes me want to like switch peanut butter out and just have more mac oil. Ridiculous. But yeah, gonna get this meal in. Little bit of zero added sugar ketchup on top. The goat condiment, that's what I recommend to clients. Zero sugar red sauce or any hot sauces. You know, avoid your Pyrenees or your mayos or stuff. Just the creamy stuff. That's what's going to be having a lot of calories, and that's what's going to actually alter your calorie intake quite significantly. But you know, with hot sauces and zero added sugar, Heinz ketchup, I think it is Heinz, yeah, they're not going to do too much. They're not going to throw your intake off the rails. So gonna get this in, and guys, we'll see you for the final meal number 5. Nice big bowl of oats. 7:30 p.m. and we are concluding this training day, full day of eating, with a delicious bowl of oats. I will show you guys the meal, dedicate a little frame to it. Bro chat, of course, in the background. So here we have 70 grams of oats cooked with 4:1 water ratio, so 280 mils of water, with 15 grams of dark chocolate melted on the side, 100 grams of banana, separating the berries, the 100 grams of berries, and 40 grams of Perform Red Velvet Whey paste. And topped, of course, with pink salt, nutmeg, and cinnamon. The goat combo. It's all sort of mixing. This isn't great. But yeah, that concludes the full day of eating, boys. This is a delicious meal. I'm enjoying my oats. I haven't had them fresh in a little while. They've been coming to work with me meal prep, so it meant no whey paste, just mixing the whey in. And it's still nice, but it doesn't hit quite the same as a nice warm bowl. To wind down, didn't quite have enough time to watch a movie tonight. Just with packing and stuff for Japan tomorrow, if I haven't mentioned already. But yeah, we are all sorted, ready to go. Friggin' buzzing. So surreal that I'm actually going to Japan. But yeah, no time for a movie. Was going to watch Wall-E tonight, but ended up just watching a half an hour of Ozark. An Ozark episode I had left, which is a brilliant series, by the way. I actually love an Ozark so far. Season 2, episode 6, I just finished, and I will finish the rest of the night, the evening wind down, with some bro chat, because bedtime's basically in half an hour anyway. So eat this, walk, and then get to bed. I had 1 serving of Turbo Dreams, the engineered muscle sleep supplement, with this meal. And yeah, we are ready for a kip. So that will do. Another entry of Grow Bag. Maybe get some Japan content filmed for you guys. I'm not sure what way I want to do that while I'm over there. Might not title it or include it in the Grow Bag series, just some separate YouTube channel content. But yeah, I'm sure I will be documenting some of the trip for YouTube. So guys, if you did make it this far, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next video, whatever that does entail.